Welcome to the Editor's Note Comics Podcast.
I think that this world, it needs men that are willing to make the hard call.
Central Maine's best comics podcast, by default.
Ain't no thing like me, Seth Lee.
Here are your hosts, Zach and Jarod.
Maps come with me. No. When do we start?
Welcome back yet again, or for the first time, whatever this is.
I don't know.
What are we doing here today? We're going to do all the pop culture news there is in the whole wide world.
No, not all of it.
We're going to do this week in comics history, sports reports, and your questions. What do we got? Well, there's a question.
Okay.
That's
I thought you were asking me. That's a very rhetorical question.
No, we got questions. You took it away last week, and now I got it back.
I thought it was a good question last week. I was looking out for our guy. I was helping him out.
You want some news? I got some news.
News me, baby.
The quarter bin is dead.
Oh, wow.
It's now a 50-cent bin.
Oh.
Inflation.
Wow. I was going to say
it's taken over.
The rent's too damn high.
But there's not much else news, I suppose. How's your show going?
It's going well. Episode 3 just dropped this week. We talked about game film. We talked about 8-man football, and we talked with Coney head coach B.L. Lippert. So.
I guess I got one more bit of news.
Yeah?
We're on Spotify now. Spotify wasn't an option for a good long while.
Oh, we were on Spotify from day one.
Well, they've changed their process recently. They're in a beta right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we couldn't get on Spotify before for, it was a weird application process.
Well, it wasn't for me. I just gave them my RSS feed.
Well, that's only happened recently that they have changed those things. But now we're on Spotify.
Well, no, that was like a month ago. It was like 6 weeks ago.
I'm just saying it wasn't like that before.
This is what you get for hosting your own podcast site.
Yeah, now we're on Spotify, so, make a playlist or something.
There you go.
You ready for the news?
I am.
All right, let's do all the pop culture, comics, movie, whatever the hell there is news there is.
Yay!
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
It's time for the news.
Marcus McFeely, writer of all the Captain America movies, Thor the Dark World, Agent Carter, and the Infinity War movies. They say the X-Men should take a break.
Listen, I had a girl once, actually more than one girl, more than one time, told me we should take a break. It never ends well. It's not a break, it's permanent.
But Marcus and McFeely say the X-Men should take a break, and my response is, I understand the point of view, but also why? I feel like the Marvel movies no longer care about the audience not knowing. The Marvel movies are like, hey, this is what we're doing.
Yeah,
the movies demand that you keep up in that, but the idea of the X-Men have been around for a while, they can't understand a new studio. I bet the audience can. This is a stupid idea, I think.
I think so, too. I think they'd be a great moneymaker.
Of course.
I think that
we know they're not going to do Phase 4 from the announcements that happened last week, but the idea of they need a break.
It will be a break. It'll be like 5 years in between X-Men movies at that point.
Yeah, the audience isn't stupid.
No, and for me, the other piece of that is too. It's not just that Marvel movies are you have to keep up. They've become can't miss events. You just need to watch them.
And at this point, we've had so many different variations on different characters, especially in the DC world. If you look at a Superman or a Batman, I think the audience knows. I don't think the audience is dumb anymore. I think you could plead ignorance in the 90s. I don't think you can plead ignorance now. I think everyone's kind of up to date. There's different universes. Cool.
Yeah, I think that also
Spider-Verse has kind of taught us that.
Yes. Plus, you have the general crossover fan, and it will work.
Here's a weird one. Robert Redford is coming out of retirement for the second time. He's not very retired.
No, doesn't sound like it at all.
But it's always for comics. He came out of retirement for Endgame. And now he's coming out of retirement a second time to be the president in Watchmen.
Huh.
In a world where Richard Nixon was president for 6 terms or something, Robert Redford will replace him.
Are you talking about Richard Nixon was president for 6 terms in Watchmen?
Yes.
Okay.
Not in real life.
I was going to say, I'm very confused. Because I read that so thoroughly.
Yeah.
3 years ago.
But Redford's back in the Watchmen HBO series. Sad news. Rutger Hauer passed away this week at age 75.
75 is a good run.
It's not that good. Still pretty young.
Yeah, I guess so.
I feel like you gotta crack 80 for me to say good run.
Okay. I'd like to have a good run myself.
I mean, known for things of recently Sin City, but probably best known for his role as Roy Batty in Blade Runner.
The original Blade Runner?
Yeah. Do you not know who Rutger Hauer is?
Oh, yes. It took me a moment. Now I've pieced it all together.
Like Tears in the Rain.
Yes. Almost kind of a character actor.
He definitely is. But man, that role in Blade Runner and him writing that monologue.
Yes.
And one of the best lines of all time. Wake up, time to die.
That's such a
good delivery.
Time to die. Yes.
He's breaking Harrison Ford's fingers. My God, just what a hell of a performance. And by all accounts, like, he was totally cool. Like, if anyone came up to him like, oh my God, you're amazing. I'm so sorry. Can I just ask you about Blade Runner? He'd be like, yeah, we can talk about Blade Runner. Blade Runner's awesome.
Let's see. What else was he in? He was born in the Netherlands, so he's Dutch. Filmography. Trying to pick up some other ones. He was in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Oh, yes, The Beans of Egypt, Maine. I remember watching that as a child.
That's what you know him from?
No. I just remember watching that as a child. He was in Sin City.
Yes, he was.
That's right. Oh, you know why he also was familiar? He was in Batman Begins.
Yes, he was. But yeah, so sad news about Rutger Hauer. Of course, Blade Runner is an all-time great performance. Watch all 4 versions, I guess.
He was in Salem's Lot.
I don't think I ever saw that. I've read the book. I've also read the sequel to the book, which is hidden in the Dark Tower series.
Oh, he's going to be the Ghost of Christmas Future in the upcoming Christmas Carol miniseries.
Yeah, he could totally do that. I get that. I buy that
Yes.
casting. But yeah, one of the greats. Sorry to say that he's gone at 75, way too young, but he will be remembered forever. News out of the Marvel stuff that happened last week. What If? The animated series What If? It's not going to be a total free-for-all. It's only going to be based on the first 23 Marvel movies. Only. Oh my God, only 23 movies to spin out of.
Not really.
What are... Oh God, they're
Well,
so
there's
restricted.
so many what ifs. So many what ifs.
They could do a million what. They could do one for every movie, or less, or more. First one up, Captain America. What if Peggy Carter got the super soldier serum? What if the Red Skull didn't grab the Tesseract with his hand? What if Captain America didn't die? I mean, there's so many what ifs. Speaking of what ifs, let's just say they're not going to do the Hulk. The Hulk is probably off the table. The Incredible Hulk.
Yeah. What if he didn't get his blood in that lime soda that got transported to America?
Stan Lee.
Yes.
But yeah, so that's what's coming out of What If. In the logo, they do show a Marvel zombie, which I guess can be a what if out of there, but who the hell knows?
I don't know.
Mandalorian is coming soon, but what we've just learned...
Ooh, yes, please teach me.
...is that Favreau himself, executive producer, probably writer and director as well, all the roles, he did talk to George Lucas about what he should do with the series.
Really?
And what was Lucas's advice? Do I take a stab at this? It's pretty on brand for Lucas advice.
Faster, more intense?
Nah. Have it be accessible to kids and have a good moral.
Oh, okay.
Let it be a thing that kids can enjoy and also something that adults can enjoy, but definitely focus on the childlike aspect of finding an epic story for the first time.
So is it going to be about Ewoks?
I liked the Ewoks when I was a kid. That's why I can forgive them as an adult, because I liked them when I was young.
I said, do you like them now?
No, but I know I liked them at the age I was supposed to like them.
Did you like Jar Jar Binks as a kid?
I think I've told this story before, but before episode 1 came out, I was buying action figures. So I was buying the ones that looked a little bit different. So the first 2 action figures I bought were Jar Jar Binks and a battle droid because they looked different than just like people.
Ah.
And then I didn't buy any other toys, and that was kind of the end of me buying action figures.
You didn't buy a Boss Nass?
No. But I think that's good advice.
That's great advice.
Take Star Wars to be something that's accessible for everyone, and have it be a tale of morality in some sense or another. Have that Joseph Campbell kind of sensibility.
Get back to the why can't I think of the Seven Samurai kind of stories?
And I like Favreau. I think he's a good director for the most part. He's had more hits than misses.
Yes, I would agree.
Not that I've seen The Lion King, mostly because I don't care.
You saw The Lion King?
No,
Oh.
I don't care.
Oh, okay.
At all. I don't care even a little bit. I saw that when I was 5 years old and I bawled my eyes out.
Yeah, it was a moving movie.
It was just the Mufasa death.
Long live the king.
So here's the thing that almost happened.
Okay.
Back in 2005 and 2008, we got Hellboy, Guillermo del Toro's Hellboy. But once it was, the conclusion came that Hellboy 3 was never going to happen, Del Toro wanted to do Hellboy 3 in comic book form. And the creator, Mike Mignola, said, nah, I don't want to confuse people. I don't want to kind of, mess up continuity. No, let's just keep things as they are. Movies are movies, comics are comics. Don't worry about it. Just,
Yeah. If you want to separate the two, separate the
I
two.
understand the point of view, but at the same time, I would totally love to see what Hellboy 3 would have been. The whole coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Yes.
I get it. I do. I understand not wanting to confuse Hellboy, especially because Hellboy is confusing the way it's released. It's like, here's a thing in 1956. Here's a thing in the present. Here's a thing about Abe Sapien. It's so all over the place.
Yes.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen that in a comic book form. I would have liked to have known.
Hellboy is a dad.
It's a bit of a bummer, but, it is what it is. And if Mignola doesn't want to do it because he's the guy who has all the clout,
Then so be it.
I can't fight him on it.
No.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I know them. They're the heroes on the half shell.
Turtle something. But this current run of IDW, it's been going on since 2011. They're hitting issue 100 pretty soon. And with issue 101, there's going to be a new creator taking over. Sophie Campbell, who actually did some old work on the Mirage stuff. She did a Raphael covers for a Raphael miniseries back in the mid-2000s, and she's done a good chunk of stuff with IDW, and hopefully it'll be good. A lot of people like her stuff.
I don't have any real opinion on the matter.
It's just one of those things, like, this has been going on since 2011, but it's not my version, which is it's always been the case, and that's always been fine. My version is the one that happened back in the 80s, and the one that went through the late, up until 2009, like 84 to 2009. That's a good stretch of books. That's my version. That version's done. And if there's going to be something new with this newer version, which, granted has been going on for a while, that's also fine. It's kind of strange because it was so consistent of having like the same, at least writer. There's been artist changes throughout it, but having a writer for 100 straight issues, you don't get that anymore.
No.
Like, you had that back in the day, like Stan and Jack did like 103 of Fantastic Four or something.
Hey, we've done over 100 issues and episodes.
Yeah, but you don't get 100, like you might get 12, or like those things just don't happen anymore. So the idea of switching it over to 100 is surprising, but also if you've told over 100 stories, not including mini-series, like that's fine. Like you've done your time. We'll see how this goes. Hopefully it's good.
That's all you can do is hope for the best.
Yeah. Other comics news, General Ross is being revived, kind of. He died in Secret Wars #2, and now the Carnage symbiote will revive him in one form or another.
Is that all part of the big Carnage series?
Absolute carnage is coming, and General Ross is going for the Hulk. He's gonna be all red.
Can you imagine, like, Carnage Hulk? Like, if the symbiote ever got a hold of Hulk?
I guess we're probably gonna see that in this series.
That'd be kind of badass, would it not?
This week, Joe Russo was quoted as saying that he knew as soon as Tony Stark said that he was a billionaire playboy philanthropist that he was going to kill him, and he said that on The Tonight Show. Except it never happened?
What?
Any of that. He wasn't on The Tonight Show. That quote never happened, but it definitely blew up the internet today.
Oh, wow.
Which is funny because he's like, I knew when I heard that he was going to have to die in Endgame. So, when he had never been hired for a Marvel movie, the first time he would have heard that, you idiots.
Wow. Way to criticize the internet, that bastion of truth and straight shooting and level-headed opinions. How dare you, sir?
What a bunch of dum-dums.
How dare you?
So yeah, Joe Russo never said that because he wasn't hired to do Endgame at the time of the first Avengers. Also, it wasn't on The Tonight Show. And what's funny is on the Russo brothers' Twitter account, he put out, he's like, this is totally false. I wanted to kill him in Civil War.
Fair.
Way to have a good attitude about it. Double check your stuff.
But the internet, if it's there, it's real, Zach.
Here's a weird one for us, and for us specifically.
That's saying something.
You heard about it last week, and just in general, we're Kevin Smith fans. We're all about seeing Jay and Silent Bob reboot.
That's going to be frigging awesome.
But it might be difficult for us to see Jay and Silent Bob reboot.
Uh-oh.
Because Kevin Smith is touring the movie, and after he's touring certain locations, and the closest he's getting to us is Boston, it will be released on Fathom Events.
Huh.
That's like 45 minutes away from us.
Totally worth it.
It's on a Tuesday.
What Tuesday?
October 15th.
That's really inconvenient.
It is really inconvenient. It's not, it apparently isn't getting a wide cinema release.
I hate that I have to wait for it to come out on DVD.
Yeah. I don't know. It's getting a it's getting a Fathom event release on October 15th and October 17th. Beyond that, the movie is touring, and after the movie tours, if you go to a Q&A with Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes, which costs $50 a ticket, it will then be released in that immediate area. So I don't know. I have no idea if and when we're going to be able to see this movie.
Oh, I will see it at some point.
I mean, yeah, we might have to see it. I have no idea. But it is getting a weird release.
I wonder if, like, it just speaks to maybe how raunchy this movie may be.
I think it speaks to how hard it is to finance a movie that you have to tour it city to city. Like, it's being presented as
Miramax didn't want to distribute?
I don't think it's Miramax anymore.
Oh. It's not like
I think it just speaks to how hard it is to finance a movie, and I think it's being presented as a positive, like, we're going city to city versus we couldn't get a wide release, so crap. So I don't know. I guess we'll try and see it, but it sounds
like it's going to be very hard to access.
It sounds like a pain in the ass, especially for us. Like, Fathom Events is 45 minutes away, and I don't know if it's going to get a release at the theater we usually frequent.
Yeah.
So that's weird, and
plus getting tickets to that would be very tough too.
I mean, they're not for sale yet, but yeah, I mean, even a Tuesday evening.
Yeah, Tuesday evenings in the school year do not work for me.
Yeah, a Tuesday evening in Brunswick.
That sounds interesting.
I've done a Fathom event once. I had a great time, but it is...
We'll have to...
I was living a town over at the time.
We'll have to deal with that when we get closer to it, I suppose.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, Jay and Silent Bob Reboot is having a very weird release schedule. But I guess that's that for the news. From there, we're going to move on to This Week in Comics History.
Superhero landing coming up.
This Week in Comics History.
Speaking of Infinity War and Endgame, the Black Order first appeared in New Avengers number 8 in 2013. I think it's funny that some stuff that's like in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, there's a bunch of it that didn't happen until like post when the universe actually started. Like, they've picked up on a lot of new stuff, so it's kind of funny. That's one of many examples of, yeah, when this kicked off, this wasn't a thing yet. On July 26th, it is the Penguin's birthday. Oswald Cobblepot, he celebrates it. He's like, I got a top hat and a cane. Sometimes there's an umbrella with a machine gun.
But he was in the Batman movie, it was Christmas time when they dumped him in the river.
I don't know what to tell you. It's not accurate.
Damn it. Maybe you know what, maybe he had grown a little bit.
Oh, it was a big week for Showcase magazine in DC Comics. Let's start with the biggie, mostly because it happens first. In Showcase number 22, Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern, had his first appearance. The most famous and most prominent of all the Green Lanterns. More than Kyle Rayner, more than Guy Gardner, more than John Stewart. I was trying to think of more Green Lanterns.
Amon Sewell.
Abin Sur.
Whatever.
You were close. Hal Jordan first appeared.
I got the A and the S right. That's got to be worth something.
In Showcase number 22 in 1956. Also in Showcase in number 34 in 1961, the Atom had his first appearance. Marvel and DC have their dueling tiny men, Ant-Man or the Atom.
Well, the Atom should get together with the Molecule Man and see what they can form.
The Atom can get real small.
See what I just did there?
Do we do that Justice League one where the Atom goes through like this light thing and punches Darkseid in the face?
No, but you've told me about it.
I don't remember if we did that or not.
No, okay, you've told me about it. I would remember that. It's
a good time. Gail Simone, a very famous writer, very popular on Twitter. She tweets a ton. It's usually she asks like daily questions. They all become trending topics. But probably best known for her run on Wonder Woman, was born in 1974. Also born this week, the funniest name in comics of all time. Yes, I'm a child. Dick Sprang was born in 1915. Yeah, right. Dick Sprang.
It's like Jack Sprat.
No,
it's not. Dick Sprang.
It's nowhere near as good as Dick Sprang. Born in 1915, Batman artist. He started his work on Batman with number 18. He was, in the beginning, a ghost artist for Bob Kane. While Bob Kane was getting his own credits for working on Batman, he blew up, and he did about 20 years on Batman. One of the most prolific artists on Batman of all time. Also behind the redesign of the Batmobile and the design of the Riddler costume. Great penciler, great inker, Dick Sprang, one of the best.
His real name was Richard, wasn't it?
Probably.
Richard Sprang. Rick Sprang.
He went by Dick.
Rick Sprangfield.
Rick Springfield?
Yes, that was the joke.
And then here's one I know literally nothing about, but I found very fascinating when I was reading about it.
Okay.
This week in 1946, in All Winners Comics number 19, the All Winners Squad was premiered, written by Batman co-creator Bill Finger, that consisted of Captain America, Bucky Barnes, Namor the Submariner, the Human Torch, Toro, the Whizzer, and Miss America.
The Whizzer.
He's also yellow.
Did Dick Sprang work on the Whizzer?
No.
Oh.
But yeah, the Whizzer is silly and yellow. He's like the fastest Marvel character.
The jokes make themselves.
I know they do.
Okay.
But I really know nothing about this team, the All Winners Squad.
Well, they're all winners.
So it's a previous, I think it predates the Invaders, which was...
Squad goals?
Yes, from the All Winners Squad.
Yeah!
But I think it predates the Invaders, which was a very World War II based team, which involves a lot of these characters. It predates the Avengers. So I don't know. I feel like there should be more information out there about the All Winners Squad, because this sounds like an incredibly important early team-based book, also written by one of the Batman co-creators. Personally, I kind of want to dig deeper into this one, because I know when I saw this, I was like, this happened this week. I was like, what the hell is this? I know nothing about the All Winners Squad, but I kind of want to do a deeper dive into it.
Well, you have your
Thank
homework.
God we have a platform to do that.
Yes. I want to know if Dick Sprang was on it.
He's an amazing artist. He's done some great books.
He better be with a name like that.
Dick Sprang is a hilarious name. Can't help it.
No.
But yeah, so for me, that's the biggie. Is a book I really, in a team I know literally nothing about, is the All Winners Squad. I want to find out more.
Google that shit.
Well, we'll probably read about them, because now I want to know.
Okay, there you go.
It's just an excuse for
The
me
more
to
you
do
know.
it. So that will do it for this week in comics history. So from there, we're going to go from the X-Men to the XFL in Jarod Sports Reports.
He's running down the middle by the 50. He's at the 30. Bare chested. The guy is drunk, but there he goes. Oh, and they tackle him at the 40-yard line.
It's time for another Jarod Sports Report.
Well, for my sports reports...
Oh, you usually have some kind of snide comment about my transitions. Nothing?
No, I thought it was an acceptable one. Let's see. The Patriots have started their preseason camp.
Everyone has.
Everyone has. Let's see. Julian Edelman may miss some of the preseason games with a hand injury.
All right, so here's what I want from you.
Yes.
Trades have happened. We are inches away from preseason. What are your predictions for the NFL?
Nope, too early.
It is not too early.
Nope, too early.
The trades have happened.
No, too early.
Players are in their spots. When is it going to be ready? After the season starts, so you get an idea? No.
No. I will make my predictions after the third preseason game. All right? There's been 1 week of camp.
Yeah, but
not ready yet.
You know where the players are.
Yeah, but you know what? The other thing that's going to happen invariably over the next 3 weeks is this is one of the highest times of the year for devastating season-ending injuries. I need to wait.
That's why I'm just...
I want to wait till they get trimmed down to the 53-man rosters.
Why don't you... No, put out one now, and then you can readjust. Let's hear what your prediction is.
Okay, I'm going to really
now.
go out on a limb. The Patriots are going to win the AFC East again.
Beyond that?
I don't know. I think the Chiefs are going to be tough again this year. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see potentially a Chiefs-Patriots rematch in the AFC title game. There's an too early prediction. There you go. Patriots-Chiefs in the AFC Championship game.
All right.
Are you happy now?
I'm just trying to make content,
Or
man.
are you happier that Taco Fall did get signed by the Celtics?
He isn't... He's signed, but he's not signed.
I told you he's going to get a contract and end up in Portland.
That is the most... Okay, do you want to deal with that? In the off-season, you can have up to 20 players signed. They are working over that, or they're working under 20 right now. But for the actual season, you can only have 15. You can also only have 2 two-way players. The 2 two-way players are already signed. I don't think Taco Fall is going to get a regular season contract. I think they're going to waive him from the Celtics and sign him in Maine. But, oh boy, there's stuff to talk about with that, too.
Because the Celtics have now
Are
in the process of buying outright the Red Claws.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not in the process. It's
going to happen.
Yeah, and they have refused to say any additional information about that. If you're not from the immediate area, the Boston Celtics, their minor league team, or the G League team, is the Maine Red Claws. They're located in our state, which is nice. It's a lot of fun to go watch a game. But my fear is now that they've purchased the team outright, that they're going to move them to Massachusetts.
I don't think so.
It made me nervous immediately when I saw that news.
No, because
it's fun to go watch those games.
Well, no, there are other G League teams in Massachusetts too, I believe. I think there's a team in Springfield.
I'm not sure.
But I don't see them moving the team from Portland. I really, really don't.
I hope not. I don't watch them game for game because a lot of their games also fall on the same night as Celtics games. So, if you're going to choose one or the other, I'm going to watch the Celtics.
That's fair.
But I watch a decent chunk of their games, and they're fun to go to, and I like having that access because it's cheap and it's local. And
part of the reason I know that they're probably not moving the team, they have a multi-year contract with the city to use the Expo.
I mean, I hope they don't move. I don't want them to.
But I just said they have a multi-year contract with the city of Portland to have the Expo.
Yeah, but Boston could have enough money to buy those contracts out.
Yeah, but I don't see that happening.
I hope not. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, so that just made me a little nervous this week.
No, I think it's a safe move. Not worried about it.
I mean, why make the move, though? Like, they were already the affiliate. What's the point of buying them if you're already the affiliate?
Because then you have controlling interest in the team. You can pump a little bit more money into the team. You can't. When they first started, the Celtics, the Red Claws had split rosters.
Yeah.
So it's now just boom.
So I don't know what that means for the G League contracts, though, because they've had players that have gone up to different teams. I don't know if that changes that now, like if they're not capable of moving up to teams that aren't the Celtics.
That's a good question. I don't know how that works.
The issue with G League teams is, I can't speak to other regions of the country, but the news and information out there is pretty limited. You'll get some general information, but there's not a lot that's kind of put out there's no one really writing down kind of beat reporter stuff. So I don't know. I really don't know what's happening, but I hope they don't move because I like seeing G League games.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to move anytime soon, so I would not worry about on a scale of things to worry about, I would put that up there with like Meteor Strike in the next 12 months.
I think they'll be in Maine for at least another year. I don't know what happens after another year.
Well, we'll see.
All right.
You know how you keep your Red Claws in Maine?
Go to some games.
Exactly. Make that a revenue source.
Damn right. Let me buy my season tickets.
I think that's about it for sports reports. It's kind of that. The Sox took 3 out of 4 from the Yankees.
Oh, what are you talking about?
There's
a
fashion.
Big one. There's a big one of the Red Sox and the Yankees. The biggest ass whooping that ever happened.
Oh, yeah. They scored 19 runs. Most runs they ever scored. They fell short of the most runs in a 4-game series against the Yankees. But
wasn't it like 19-3 or something?
19-3 was the final, yes. They put a beat down on them.
So that's the biggest,
that's the most runs that either team has scored against the other team.
Yeah, and one of the biggest rivalries in sports, the biggest ass whooping happened this week.
And it was much, much needed. The Sox looked much better over the last 4 games. They're now kind of worked themselves into the wild card spot. So I said it was a critical week. Now they got the Rays coming up, so we'll see what happens.
What are their chances of making the playoffs?
I think that they're getting better. They're improving. I would not be they're probably not going to win the division, but they certainly will be a wild card team. But I don't know. There's still all of August and all of September. It's a lot of baseball. 2 months of baseball left.
Because they're just a bit over 500. I'm not sure where they're at exactly, but isn't it not like crazy over 500?
Yeah, but they've got it down to single digits behind in the loss column, so they're getting there.
I'm asking. I don't know. I'm certainly not coming from a place of like I know what.
They're
Red
about
Sox
5.
are doing.
I think they're almost 10 games above 500.
Okay, is that it? That's football. That's basketball. That's
and David
baseball.
Ortiz is out of the hospital after like 50 days in there.
Well, let's just all be glad that he's not dead.
Yes,
he got shot and he's out.
Yes,
so that's a positive.
It's a huge positive, especially for him.
Mostly for him, I think,
and his family. Yeah, that's it for the sports reports. That's all I got.
So from there, since we're also in the dregs of no big pop culture things are happening other than The Lion King, who cares?
The Lion King cares.
We're going to go back to one of Jared's favorites. That's what we're aiming for this week. An old friend, an old
nemesis,
an old colleague of his.
Colleague my ass.
He's got a real veg array or some crap.
Can't believe you did this to me.
We're going to move on to our review of the week of Marvel Team Up number 71.
It's Jared's Reading Corner.
What is Marvel Team Up, you ask?
It's the damn Plant Man. That's what it is.
Well, you revealed it early.
Well, you know what?
That's why I picked it.
Yeah, you bury the lead. I'll tell you that. When I'm reading it and I turn the page and I see he's there, my reaction was not one of pleasure.
Marvel Team Up is a team-up book, as the title would say, but it's Spider-Man teaming up with some of, Marvel's buds. I don't think this is one of the better team-up books from this period. I think Marvel 2-in-1 is a better example of this. Team Up, it has a couple of...
Was it like when they were trying to get everybody to, like the Human Torch, so they just partnered up with some people?
Essentially, yeah.
Okay.
it was Spider-Man. So like, here's Spider-Man and someone else. Marvel team up generally, there's a couple out there that are worth a couple of bucks, but generally not a super well-regarded book. This came out in July of 1978 and was written and drawn by guys I don't really know, which, you know, I don't know everyone, but to have names, I just look at them I'm like, what the hell is this?
Dick Sprang wasn't on this?
Dick Sprang was not on this. I know Dick Sprang.
Dick Sprung would be a better name.
But this was written by Bill Kunkel with art by Al Wenzel, and not guys I generally know.
That's a tough name, Bill Kunkel.
Don't know what to tell you.
That's not my name.
It was Kunkel.
I'm sorry, Bill. Sorry, Will.
But let's get into this, since we're really just here to find Jared's favorite comic book character. That's why we're here.
Can we talk about the moment when the Plant Man was revealed in this?
We're not there yet.
Okay.
That's like 3/4 of the way into this book.
Well, Falcon's doing whatever he does, floating around, flying around. He comes across some crime.
He comes across Captain America.
Laid out on the sidewalk.
Captain America is dying.
Yeah, he's not in good. He's not.
He's about to die. He's only defeated by the most powerful nemesis of all time.
A frigging flower. That's when I should have known. I should have known right away.
A flower took him out.
That's why I'm not the world's greatest detective.
Captain America is going to die because of a flower.
That's.
I was also looking up what Plant Man stuff to do. There's also another one where he thinks he kills Tony Stark, and he goes from thinking he killed Tony Stark to world domination. We'll get there.
That's a. Oh no, none of the Plant Man
We'll
story.
get there.
Okay, whatever.
But yeah, Captain America is dying because he has a flower.
So he gets Captain America back to people from S.H.I.E.L.D. Nick Fury's there, hanging out. And the doctor's like, well, yeah, we need the antidote. We can't formulate the antidote fast enough.
Antitoxin, or is that what it says?
Like an antitoxin.
So we cut over.
Poppies will make him sleep.
We cut over to Spider-Man. He's just swinging about, and then you see some crime happening.
At a government lab, and the first thing he's worried about them stealing is a neutron bomb. Okay, it's like there's a chain link fence keeping people out from this suburban government lab somewhere in New York City, and they think that they're keeping a neutron bomb there. Come on, Spider-Man, you're better than that.
So Spider-Man beats them all up, except for one of them, and the Falcon arrives. He's like, where's the antidote? Where's the antitoxin? You son of a bitch!
Where's the trigger?
Yeah, basically. And Spider-Man's like, what the hell?
Yeah, like,
I was just here beating up crooks.
Yeah, and he comes down, and Falcon starts getting in his way.
And Falcon starts fighting him.
Interrupting his swerve.
There's a real, misunderstanding of the heroes, so of course they fight.
Yeah, because as you have want to do. Oh, there's a real problem, so I'm going to solve it by swinging my fists.
Swinging his wings. They're like, thank God I have vibranium wings from Black Panther.
No, that happens later.
I think it happens earlier on.
No, it happens later on.
Who knows? Who cares?
I read it more recently than you did.
4 hours more recently.
That's still more recently. So they finally stop fighting after Spider-Man throws him into one of the other criminals. He's like, oh, I kind of jumped too. And Spider-Man's like, don't say it. Just don't be that guy.
He's like, hey, there's one criminal left. We can interrogate him and find out where the antitoxin is. So Spider-Man's like, where is it? He's like, I'll tell you everything. Oh my God, don't touch me.
Yeah, but they could have interrogated him off scene because the next panel is Spider-Man going to where this place is. He's like, didn't have to do much. This guy just gave it all up.
He really did give up all that information with basically zero interrogation. He's like, I don't care. I'll just tell you what you want to know.
Oh, that also should have been a clue that this henchman is super inept, therefore he belongs to the Plant Man.
Because the Plant Man has henchmen now.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Is it? Is it really? Especially when he's got henchmen that will flip on him that fast.
So Spider-Man dresses up in this henchman's
Stitches
costume.
get stitches.
In one of the most conspicuous possible costumes. It's purple and pink and kind of looks like a big condom.
Yeah, it's not a pleasant look.
If you saw that person, you wouldn't be like, well, that's private security, that's the police, that's just someone normal. You'd be like, henchman. Definite henchman.
These guys are going to go hang out by some exploding barrels later in a video game.
Purple and pink, and Spider-Man goes up to one of the other purple and pink henchmen. He's like, hey, I'm looking for, I forget the name. He's like, I'm looking for Alex. He's like, my name's not Alex, my name's Horatio. He's like, well, I'm looking for Horatio now.
No.
And he punches him out.
Yes.
And then Spider-Man goes into the other room where, dun, 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 it's the Plant Man.
Oh my God, I was so disappointed.
I wish we could have recorded it live, your reading of it.
You should have been. I was like, oh man, the Plant Man is here? Son of a bitch.
Your favorite supervillain. If you want to hear Jared's first experience with the Plants Man, go back and listen to our Strange Tales episode. I don't know what number it is.
Oh, well, that's really specific.
I'm going to have it listed as Strange Tales.
Okay, that's fair. You should just link to it in the description.
Maybe I will.
There you go. See?
Damn it, now I have more work to do.
Yeah, well, that's what you get for running your suck. And making me read about the friggin' Plant Man.
You love the Plant Man.
I don't love He's so dumb. Because he didn't even make any plants fight in this one.
He made plants tackle Peter Parker. So
I'd like to see him and Paste Pop Pete join forces.
The Falcon dives through one of the many greenhouse windows. He's like, that wasn't easy to do. And I was like, yes, it was.
Plate glass window. You got vibranium wings. It's not that difficult.
You just flew in there. It wasn't that difficult. Why explicitly say it was difficult? It wasn't.
You just wanted to make people think that it was hard.
Yeah, way to look for sympathy.
So anyway, Plant Man's go-to defense is to get roots to envelop Spider-Man.
I mean, it works.
Yeah, and then he throws
He also has a Veg-Ray.
Yes.
He's going to blast you with his Veg-Ray. What's a Veg-Ray do?
It sounds like something from that I Love Lucy episode. So anyway, he has this Veggie Ray, and see, I don't like him because I don't like all vegetables.
It's true. You don't. You're real anti-vegetable.
I've grown into some vegetables over the years.
No, you haven't.
Yeah, I eat carrots and cucumbers and celery and lettuce and
infants
bacon.
Have a bigger palate than you. Bacon isn't a vegetable.
Damn right it is.
Did you just throw bacon in there?
I did.
Infants have wider palates
because they don't know
you.
any better. They barely know they're alive. Do you remember being an infant? Exactly.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. So anyway, he throws some plant bombs at Falcon, who breaks out his vibranium wings, and there's a whole panel talking about, oh, good thing he got these from T'Challa, who is also known as the Black Panther, who comes from...
Pew, pew, pew.
Yes. So there's a whole panel about T'Challa, which we never see T'Challa, but whatever.
We know he's around.
So long story short, the Falcon...
They just kind
and
of...
Spider-Man just kind of win. It doesn't really...
What happens to the Plant Man at the end of the story? I don't know. I guess he's defeated.
They pretty much just walk out of there with the antitoxin.
Yeah, they're like, great job.
Hey,
no one cares about the Plant Man. Just
thanks.
leave him there.
I'm out. And they get back and they save Steve Rogers. And then
he's like, thank God I wasn't killed by the Plant Man.
Yeah, that would have been a really bad way for Captain America to go down.
I hear Iron Man was almost killed by him.
Yeah, he's like, Tony can't do the same way myself.
He almost killed the Human Torch with a light dew.
And that's also very true. I will give him credit for that. That was kind of clever. Mildly clever. But ultimately, it wraps up with Nick Fury calling Spider-Man a menace.
Yeah, he's like, I guess a public menace can be good sometimes. But seriously, what the hell happens to the Plant Man at the end of this, at the end of Marvel Team-Up number 71? He
sadly survives. Somebody needs to get some friggin' Riddex over there.
Or he just leaves?
Yeah, pour some bleach on him. Stop watering him. Put him in a cave.
Not a great issue, but now we know what happened to the Plant Man after Strange Tales.
Woof.
At least this version of the Plant Man. There's another one, but we're just sticking to Samuel Smithers.
Good job.
The crappiest version, I'm sure.
Not good.
But that's that. We reintroduced Jarod to the Plant Man, his all-time favorite comic character. He loves them. He wants to cozy up with plants and vegetables because he has such a wide palate that isn't just eating chicken.
I made a dank steak the other night.
Oh, good. So another kind of meat.
Yeah. What's wrong with meat?
All right.
And I made some killer French toast the other day and a really badass breakfast sandwich.
So no vegetables. You literally haven't mentioned a vegetable yet.
Oh, I had a chicken Caesar wrap the other day.
So lettuce covered in fat.
There's cheese and croutons in there.
So another version of fat and croutons.
Oh, I made
and carbs.
I made a friggin' sweet baked potato the other day too.
Fantastic.
It was friggin' phenomenal, dude. You underestimate my ability to cook quality foods.
I underestimate your ability to eat a vegetable.
Actually,
I overestimate it.
Yeah.
I assume you're just a normal person, and you're not.
Hi, pot. My name is Kettle.
I eat vegetables.
Doesn't mean you're a normal person.
From there, we're going to move on to
quantify my normality by eating vegetables.
Editors.
What the hell's wrong with you? You're such a sanctimonious vegetable eater.
Now for my favorite part of the show. What's that say? Talk to the audience. Oh, God, this is always dead.
Here's another one of your letters to the editors.
Here's a nice and simple one, asked in person. If you want to have your own questions answered, you can email us at editorsnotecomics@gmail.com.
Ask Zoltan.
I was trying to think of that Adam Sandler movie that failed. That was something with a Z, but I couldn't get there.
Oh, don't mess with the Zohan.
Great. But if you want to ask your own questions, email in at editorsnotecomics@gmail.com, Twitter or Facebook. But this week's question It's a nice and simple one.
I like simple.
What do you collect?
Disc golf discs.
You really squinted at me for a second.
I had to think. Yeah, disc golf discs and pint glasses.
That's what you collect?
Yeah.
Just discs?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't think of anything else. Cat hair. I collect a lot of cat hair just by sitting on my couch. I do collect some base sports memorabilia, sporting some weird sports things, but really that's about it. I actually have a pair of spikes, jumping spikes that were signed by Dick Fosbury, who invented the Fosbury flop, which is how everyone high jumps. And a kid I coached signed the other one.
Names at me. I was like, that's all nonsense to me.
Yeah, Dick Fosbury.
All right.
He's a track legend.
Dick sprang himself.
Yeah, see? It's the Dick episode. What do you collect besides comics?
I don't really collect comics, and I think that gets me in trouble sometimes.
You collect art?
Well, because sometimes people are like, oh, what comics do you collect? I'm like, really nothing. Which sometimes gets me these looks, because it's true. I don't really bring much home from the store. The store is meant to be, a business. And if I want to read something, hey, guess what? It's there. And I generally read it. But even I have bought a good chunk of comic art, but wouldn't say that it's like an active collecting thing for me anymore. Like there's a couple of things I'm looking for, but they're like hyper specific. Like things that I read like when I first started reading, like things that I want to find that are very like hyper personal. It's not like, well, I want to buy a Captain America page. It's like, no, I want to find like a thing that I was reading when I first started reading, and that would actually mean something. So I'm not actively buying art, but there's a couple of things I would like to find. I would say if we're going to turn it into collecting, I have the majority of the Mirage Turtle stuff. And I've talked to my wife about it, like, should I just sell this? She's like, no, you can't. Like,
no.
I saw the end effort that went into finding this stuff. Like, you can't. And I have most of that. There's a few odds and ends that I don't have. It's like, oh, I don't have a backup strip that was released in like a 5th printing of this or something like that. But if I have stuff that I'm like actively trying to collect, it's taking the art that I have and trying to meet the people that worked on it and to get signatures on it. Okay,
that's a fair quest.
So I have very few pieces of art that I would consider to be complete. Like it has to have, in some cases it's impossible because, people are dead or whatnot. But I would say if I'm collecting anything, I'm trying to find signatures on my personal art collection, not necessarily stuff that's like in the store. But from stuff that I own, it's like, oh, I want to hunt down the people that worked on this and get, all of the assorted collaborators to sign this piece of art. And that's a little bit hard because it's all people that go to cons and whatnot, but I don't really go south of Rhode Island because it's a pain in the ass.
It is a long distance, yes.
Yeah, so I really got to hope that people come to kind of the Northeast and
come to me, come to Zach.
I said, yeah, kind of ping from there and like, oh, look, I have this art that you worked on. Can you sign it? It's like, wow, where'd you get this? I'm like, probably eBay or something. Sometimes that happens, but I would say if I was actively collecting, it's probably signatures on my own art collection. Because I don't really need to collect comics because they're all just there. I mean, technically my collection is the store, and I don't want to have that collection. Buy that collection. Buy every piece of it.
Yeah, buy the store. Just buy it all.
I mean, for enough money, yeah, buy the store.
See, there you go. Everyone's got a price.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Well, there you go.
But I think, yeah. So you have random sports memorabilia.
Yep, disc golf discs and pint glasses.
Is there anything that you want to snag? Like because I was, speaking of Rhode Island, I was at a con and I threw down some money to try and get you a signed Tom Brady jersey.
Yeah,
which if I had won that, I was going to give that to you, but I didn't
thank you.
This isn't new news.
I know that, but still, thank you. The thought is nice.
Yeah, I mean, I threw money into it.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'd like to have maybe some signed jerseys or something like that, but it's not a major priority for me right now. So,
oh, you know what's gonna be a cool one that I'm gonna do in a couple months?
What?
You see, I have a couple animation cells down here where we're recording. You see that one over there?
Yes.
It's an old Ninja Turtles one that has all of the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
I'm gonna work a show with every one of those voice actors.
Wow.
I'm bringing that sucker with me.
That's pretty cool.
I'm gonna get that signed by everyone.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah, so that'll be a fun one, just because just to match them all up.
There you go.
So that's something I'm gonna do in a couple months when I'm at Granite State in September. So yeah, so I'll get that signed by the 4 voice actors, because why not?
You only live once.
Yeah, I mean that'll be a fun one. That'll look cool.
That'll look very cool.
Yeah, so I guess that's my answer.
Well,
okay, so if you had a holy grail, let's also say this is a reasonable holy grail, like not something that's going to cost you a couple $1,000. If you were going to shoot for it doesn't have to be sports, but if you're going to shoot for something to be like, oh, I would really like to snag this, and it's not just something I could buy, at a Target, what would it be?
I kind of would like to have like a signed Bill Belichick hoodie.
Okay. With the sleeves?
Oh, absolutely.
Specifically, okay.
I think that'd be kind of a cool thing to have. Like everyone wants like a jersey. Like I think it would be cool to have a Bill Belichick worn and autographed hoodie.
And because they sell those specifically through their store, right? Like,
oh yeah, they sell them like that now. Yeah.
Yeah. Would he have to pout for it?
That would make it better if there was a picture of him pouting in it. Absolutely,
He's like,
yes.
I don't really want to do this.
It would add value to it. Yes. No, I think that would be a kind of a cool thing to have. That seems like it's a little more off the beaten track too.
Well, I mean, yeah, you're into coaching, you're into the Patriots. Yeah, I could.
Yeah.
I mean, and you've clearly enjoyed this.
Oh, it's been terrible. I hate every minute of it.
Yeah, you've kind of enjoyed this reign of your team being kind of top dog.
It's not a bad time to be alive, I guess.
Yeah, I could totally see that.
Yeah.
Sorry I didn't get you that Brady jersey. I tried.
You probably got one raffle ticket for like $1.
It was $20
for one raffle ticket.
It was like 20 for 3 or something.
Oh, that's crazy.
I got a couple of them. I definitely threw down $20.
Oh, that would have been a steal at $20.
Well, I didn't win now, did I?
No, so you got robbed.
It would have been funnier if I was like, I won this. I changed my mind. I'm selling it.
You son of a bitch. Well,
I tried.
If you enjoy the show, go to patreon.com/editorsnotecomics. $1 a month gets you the show a whole day early. Lucky you. Plus, you get Patreon exclusive spoiler and spoiler-free reviews of Buffy, Angel, and Firefly. Plus $5. I don't know why we still show this because no one does it anymore. But
I know.
$5 so you can be a Duke or Duchess of the podcast and get your own very Duke or Duchess sound bite. That really was a hot ticket item for a little bit.
I don't even edit it out. I just leave it there.
You never know. Somebody might want to throw down $5.
So, now that we're on Spotify.
Yeah, exactly. Welcome, Spotify people. You can find Zach at 210 Water Street in Hollowell. He's also on the internet, editorsnotecomics.com, plus all the social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
And you have a podcast and you have a Twitter.
Yeah. My other podcast is Coach's Room Podcast. Actually, the Coach's Room Podcast. Easier to find if you type it all in. And my personal Twitter, if you want to find out what I'm musing about, at Junior Rich.
Do you have a professional Twitter?
Well, the podcast Twitter is.
So not professional.
No, I don't have a professional Twitter. There's nothing professional about me.
We'll be back next week. Okay, I'm going to give this, we'll decide right now. I'm going to give you a coin toss.
Okay.
Do you want to do something I love, or do you want to do something I hate?
Something you hate. Something you hate. Something you hate.
You just screwed yourself on that one. All right.
Oh, no.
Next week, we're doing X-Men Origins Wolverine for the 10-year anniversary.
Oh.
You've never seen it? Get ready.
Is this the one where he gets nuked?
No, that's a good one.
Oh.
I love that movie. That's a good one. No, this is much worse.
Oh, is this the one with Liev Schreiber?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
All right, that's next week. 10-year anniversary. Bye.